Dear youth, it's been a minute since I spoke to some of you, and the point of this video is to explain and say goodbye to the physical connection we had. Firstly, this is to the youth that I worked with in Berkeley, California, over the last 4 years. As most of you know, I have been going through quite a lot in my personal life and work life too, during the time I was working with you. And my sudden departure was a culmination of recurring events that I could no longer handle. Now, this compounding effect, of course, led me to make a rash decision and resign my job on the spot. Most of you, of course, were surprised, but some of you saw it coming. But that's not the point of this video. The point is firstly to apologize for leaving without saying goodbye. But what I want you to understand is that sometimes in life you have to make rash decisions and do what you have to do. And that's what I did. I did it because I knew you would understand that it wasn't you. It wasn't about you and never will be so. But in that understanding, I also want you to understand that I would have liked to say goodbye. I would have liked to say, put some closure to it, per se. Round it up. But on further reflection, I thought that wasn't even necessary, because what we accomplished is beyond goodbyes, is beyond physical boundaries. From interacting with each one of you, I, the teacher, became the student. I learned more than I gave out because I interacted with 20 to 40 students per week. And that's 20 to 40 lessons for me per week compared to your one if I was working with you on a one-on-one basis. So for that, I thank you. You taught me to look at the world with open eyes and dare to dream. You taught me to trust because you trusted me. I was a stranger to your world and a stranger to your country, but you embraced me and showed me the ropes. And for that, I say thank you. The point of this video, nonetheless, is to let you know that the one thing I would have said to you is you're limitless. You are totally unbound and you are unstoppable. The choice is yours. Most of you will remember our lessons in drawing and painting and creating products. It wasn't easy at first, but once you learned the method, once you learned how to do it, it became second nature. You began to paint, you began to draw well. You began to think on a philosophical level like you never thought you could. Now, that being said, I would like to say that my teaching philosophy has never been to hold you by the hand until the end of time. At some point, I had to let you go. And it's been a month or two now since I left. And the one thing that gives me joy is the fact that you're able to carry on. I am also able to carry on. And I mention that because, yes, I think about you. I miss you guys a lot. And that's in a good way, because I know you will survive, you will carry on, you will thrive, you will prosper, only if you believe. Do you remember the lesson about the word cannot? Oh, I can't do it. I totally disagree with that word. I think it should be eradicated from the dictionary and from the language totally, because it's limiting. Most of you remember that I used to say that the moment you say you cannot, you're programming your mind to create situations where you cannot. So the one thing I beg of you is that going forward, take that word out of your vocabulary. Use, I am facing a challenge with this. I am finding this situation a bit challenging. I will overcome the current situation, hard as it may be. But to use the word cannot is totally limiting and crippling. So, in conclusion, I just want to say thank you for your lessons. Excuse me, I burped. Thank you for your lessons. You might ask what lessons you taught me. You taught me to be strong and to carry on in spite of all the pressure and the challenges you might be facing. You turned up every day. You taught me to take it like it is. Sometimes I got irritated and you were patient with me. You were honest with me. And I appreciate that. I hope you carried that through. You taught me to think different because when I interacted with all 40 of you throughout the week, it was 40 lessons from 40 different minds that I had to compute. And talking about minds and thoughts, I just want to let you know that you have a unique mind. You have a superior mind to the thoughts you have. By that I mean, we have been indoctrinated, we've been taught to hate ourselves, to think less of ourselves. And the biggest mistake we've made is believe that. So I would like to say, some of you might not hear from me, some of you will, I'm in touch with some of you. But for those who might not be in touch with me after all this, I'd just like to say, go forward believing like a child. Do not see it as an impossible situation. Try it. Find out about it. Learn how it works. And you will definitely get there. You learn to walk, you learn to talk, therefore you can learn to conquer this world. Conquer being the wrong word, but when you are faced with such challenges, conquering might be the right word to apply. The last thing I'll say is that most of you are going through a lot. And I know that. The thing about life is it's always challenging. And that's the measure of success to me. If you don't have any more challenges, you're done. You can resign. You can put your feet up and say goodbye to life. So the more challenges you face is an indicator that you are on a progression. If you don't have any challenges in your life, then I think it begs the question, are you making progress in the direction you want to go? Or are you regressing? All right, so the final word I'll say is that no matter how dark the night is, morning will come. For those who believe in the Bible, one verse that kept me going when I was in my darkest period was, "The Lord's my shepherd, I shall not want. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for the Lord my God is with me, is my rod and my staff." Find something that keeps you going when the night hits darkest. But remember, you are the light. Thank you.